Hi, I'm Kat, and today we're gonna do the reading habits tag. As you can already tell, the sun is coming in and out of clouds, so if you see the light changing, it's the usual. Let's start with question number 1, which is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? And you are looking at it, it is my bedroom. I spend most of my time at home in my bedroom, so here is where I watch movies, here is where I read. You can probably always find me in my bedroom when at home. Question number 2, bookmark or random piece of paper? Now I do have quite a few bookmarks because whenever I do a book depository order, they send you a bookmark. So I have quite a few of those. Usually I would go for a bookmark, but to be honest, like anything could be a bookmark. And I don't have any fancy bookmarks that I use. No, I'm lying. I have one very fancy bookmark that my best friend got me in Paris. Wait, I'll show you. Here it is. Like, this is very, very fancy bookmark, and it's the only one I have that is like this fancy, and obviously I use it. I love to use it when I'm reading fantasy books because it goes usually with the whole theme. Question number 3, can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? So usually I prefer to stop at a chapter, like at the end of a chapter. That's my preferred method because usually if you are breaking for another chapter, there's usually a reason, so it flows better if you stop there. But I can definitely stop at whatever point. If for some reason I am just getting sleepy or I'm a bit bored, I feel like I need a little break from reading, I can stop wherever. It doesn't really bother me much. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? Eating, I don't, because I do not have the habit of eating in my bedroom. I eat in the kitchen. That's where we do eating in this house. So I don't have the habit of snacking while here reading. And I don't have the habit of just bringing my book wherever. So snacking, eating, usually I don't. Drinking, sometimes I do, especially water. Like, I always have water with me, and sometimes like if it's colder, something like that, I will maybe make a cup of tea. Eating, no. Drinking, yes. I would love to know about you because I think this is a very split situation. I think drinking, usually like most people can drink, especially because like with this has no possibility of spilling. But I know a lot of people are very careful about their books and keeping them in pristine condition, so eating near books is a very big no-no. But I'm curious, like, do you drink or eat while you're reading? Yes, no? Tell me down below in the comments. Number 5, multitasking. Music or TV while reading? Absolutely not. I cannot, and that is such a huge pet peeve of mine, because if for some reason I am not in my bedroom and I'm in the living room or something like that, and people can definitely tell that I'm reading a book and they just go and turn on the TV or something like that, oh, I can't concentrate if I have, like, it's not noise, but is very clear noise. Like, if people are talking, I can understand what they're saying, and my mind just wanders, and I'm paying attention to that, so what I'm reading is not fully sinking in, and I don't like that. The same way with music. It's splitting my brain, and it doesn't like it, so I can't. Like, if you can do that, props to you, because your brain is amazing. I can't do that. It's very distracting. Number 6, one book at a time or several at once? Well, several at once. Some time ago, like way back, I had this thing where I could only read one book at a time. If I was not enjoying that one book, I would like read another one, but like tops, I would be reading 2 books at the same time. Right now, I don't know how that started actually, but it was very slowly, very gradually. I would be reading a book, and for some reason, it wasn't what I wanted to read at the moment. Maybe I got another book that I was more excited to get into, and I would pause the one I was currently reading and pick up a new one. And little by little, I would say I trained myself to be able to read different things at the same time. The biggest trick is to start with books that have nothing in common with each other. So like you can read a nonfiction and whatever else, like literary fiction, fantasy, mystery, whatever you enjoy. It's really like anything else, it's a habit. Number 7, reading at home or everywhere. This is funny because I go through phases with this. While I was at college, I had this habit while I was commuting, like home, college, home. I would read in the bus. And it was very specific to what I was reading. So I remember clearly because I didn't have the ebook version of the book. So I would actually take photos on my phone of the pages, and that was when I was rereading The Mortal Instruments and reading The Infernal Devices for the first time, and I was so in love with that story and I didn't want to waste any second available. So when I was reading those, I would actually have photos of the pages on my phone, and I would read them while making the trip. Like I would be standing in the bus and I would be reading actual photos of pages on my phone, and it would be wonderful. I would be so engrossed in the story that people were talking around me. There was the usual like emotion of being in a moving vehicle. It was fine. I wasn't even sitting down, and I could totally just block out whatever was happening around me and just focus on the book I was reading. It was wonderful. Usually the same thing happened when I was on a train journey. I could read there. If I have the chance, I would always prefer to read somewhere very quiet and very much private, because I'm the type of reader who will express herself while she's reading. So if something is funny, I like to have the ability to actually laugh. I like the ability to just express myself while I'm reading and having those emotions. And if I'm in public, I can't do that as much. I feel just shy. So if I have a chance, I would always prefer to read at home. Question number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. This is another interesting one because most of the time I will read silently in my head. I think most people do, but I also really love reading out loud. Not every book is conducive to doing that. I'm literally just talking to myself aloud, but that's fine. I don't care. I enjoy it. And that is also a great way to just practice reading out loud and practice the cadence of your speech, to practice like enunciation and everything. So I really enjoy that. Number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? And sometimes I don't skip pages ever. I don't skip chapters. I don't do anything like that. I will read ahead sometimes if a scene is very dramatic. My eyes kind of wander down the page to see what's happening, but then I will take the time to read things properly. I skim read if I'm really bored with a book, if I just want it to be over. This happened this month. Actually, I'll talk about it in my wrap-up, but I will skim read sometimes if I just need the book to be over. Question number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. Again, I do both. It depends on the book, it depends on the edition. There are certain books that for some reason I want to keep like mint condition, pristine, like as new. And there are some others that I like to see them battered and looking like they've been read and they've been like handled. So it depends for me. It depends on the feel of the book in my hands. I can't explain it any better. Lastly, this is the last question. This went by so quickly. Do you write in your books? If by write you mean annotate the books, I don't really like take notes or make commentaries in the margins of a book. I usually don't. What I do is highlight or underline lines in a book. I do that a lot, like 90% of the books I read, unless I don't have anything to underline or I'm just so engrossed in the story that I don't do that. I always love to pick up a book that I just haven't read in a couple of years, or for some reason I want to pick it up again and just look at it and see what parts were important to me at the time. And it's very funny because sometimes I'll be looking through a book and I will see something highlighted or something underlined, and now I don't understand the point of it because I don't find it as well written, I don't find it as lyrical, I don't find it as meaningful perhaps. So I read it and my mind just goes, what was I thinking? Why this sentence? That was our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it and my shenanigans that I shared today. And let's talk in the comments. Please tell me some of your reading habits as well, because I'd love to know. If you eat or drink while you're reading, if you read multiple books at the same time, or if you just focus on one. Anything you want to share with me, I'd love to know. And yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!